I heard you like Mudkips.
Butterfree, go!
Yo, whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I bring you guys a brand new video today, and today we're going to be reacting to Alpharad's Can You Beat Pokemon Emerald with Only a Mudkip? Now, Mudkip is a fan favorite Pokemon, and I'll be honest, it's not my favorite of the Gen 3 starters. I'm Team Trico myself, but I want to give Mudkip a chance, and Alpharad's a great content creator. I'm a big fan. You guys can check out Alpharad's original video on his channel in the description below, so show some love there. But if you like this video, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna take a look at just how he went about trying to beat Pokemon Emerald with just a Mudkip. This is gonna be wild, and I want to ask you guys in the comment section as well, who is your favorite starter from Generation 3? Is it Trico, Torchic, or Mudkip? Like I said, I'm Team Trico, but let's jump into the video and let's see what Alpharad's got for us. All right, you guys requested this video a lot, so let's finally jump into it. Let's see what he's got.
Pokemon is all about catching them all. Well, I mean, it was until recently.
Uh-oh.
Anyways, I was just curious to how little you could explore in a game like Pokemon. I looked at Pokemon Emerald and wondered if it would be possible to go from receiving your starter to becoming the champion without catching a single Pokemon.
Well, you are gonna need HM, I think.
The first obstacle that comes to mind is what to do about the HMs that are required to traverse through the Hoenn region.
There you go.
A fun fact about the 8 HMs in this region is that only 5 of them are required. With 3 of them being water-based moves, it made sense to pick Mudkip since he can also learn the other 2 required, that was Strength and Rock Smash. I'm not really allowing much leeway on the catching Pokemon thing. If it's a legendary, that's free XP, and if it's shiny, you gotta kill it, and that's just heartbreaking.
Oof.
Our precious little Mudkip may leave a lot to be desired.
I'll be honest, I didn't realize that Mudkip had that high of an attack stat. Base 70 attack isn't that bad. If you can give, I think Eviolite existed, maybe not. If you can give it a Eviolite, that might not be terrible.
Desired when it comes to his stats. The reason for this is that no rational human being would pick this set of stats over these, but that's where I come in and say, oh boy, I love an arbitrary challenge with an odd set of win conditions. The heart of this challenge really stems from asking, could I instead of should I?
I like it.
That's how we ended up here.
I'm really curious about what the game time for this is. I'm feeling like it's gotta be like 35 hours.
Upon being gifted my Pikachu by Professor Birch, I immediately went into the grass and started grinding. I beat my rival, talked to my dad who focuses on work instead of me, watched Wally learn what a Pokemon was, and then I made it to Petalburg Woods. Nothing interesting really happens here since it's just the path towards the Rock Gym, and let this serve as a reminder that I picked the Water-type Pokemon.
There you go.
Inside the gym, our little Pikachu had his first attempt at evolution, only to be
I hope he gets an Everstone, because that would be really annoying to have to like stop the evolution every single level.
denied by a single press of the B button. It really makes you wonder if being blue ballsed in the middle of your metamorphosis hurts, but I mean, you'll get used to it since there's a whole lot of this down the road. The easiest solution to this is to get Neverstone, but that's boring. I'm cheating. It's just this arbitrary rule I just made up. Anyways, Roxanne lost my already overleveled Mudkip, we retrieved an old man's lost dog, and then set sail on the Haha boat. We then arrived in this granite cave, and a mysterious hiker offers us Flash. We then walked off, looked at him over our shoulder, and said, wow, thanks for nothing. The hard part about caves in this run is that you don't have Flash, which means you can't see, and you have to walk through the caves by memory alone. Lucky for me, I played this game hundreds of times.
Hundreds, though? Like, really? Like, I've played through Emerald a lot, but not hundreds. Hundreds is a lot. You think that was hyperbole?
We then find Steven, who gives us the first useless piece of information for a Mudkip-only user, which means it's now time to fight the second gym leader. I tried to fight every trainer I could in the building, but it wasn't enough for this underdeveloped
Mudkip.
So
he lost! Wait, it's not a Nuzlocke, though. It's just beating it with Mudkip, right? Well, that's unfortunate.
I resorted to bullying kids on the beach until that magically became enough to earn another gym badge. After that, we fought Team Aqua, beat our rival again somehow, like I really don't know how I did this one, and then approached Mauville City, which held potentially the hardest part of this entire run. The electric gym.
Oh yeah, dude, how do you beat, does Mudkip get Mud Slap at least?
The balance of this in the Hoenn region is that if you're going the water type, your Marshtomp should already be half ground type by now, thus being immune to electric moves. Sadly, that is not how this story goes. You really just have to allow your Pokemon to pop as many pills as you can before you inevitably run out of money. Don't do drugs, kids. Your best bet is using Mud Slap, a move with low power that lowers your opponent's accuracy, but they only use
Shockwave, dude! Oh my god! That's so brutal! So he legit, I thought about Mud Slap, I'm like, okay, so maybe you can hack it with Mud Slap, that makes sense. But they do have Shockwave, which is a 60 base power electric type move that never misses, much like moves like Swift and Feint Attack. that kind of makes things a little tricky, doesn't it?
101% accuracy, so it's just like, I'd like to say that I eventually won this battle through sheer willpower alone, but I'll be honest and say that the AI just messed up and hit me with the Howl instead of Shockwave, which falls under one of the most we take those kinds of wins I've ever seen, but...
That's like the Butterfree run I just did, and Onyx like straight up just misses his Rock Tomb. These solo runs are so wild.
We take those. This gym badge allows us to use Rock Smash, which is an actual move we will actually use. You can then use Rock Smash to get strength, and this is an actual move that we will even actually use. At this point, you're starting to figure out that the Mudkip we carry is going to be void of an actual moveset since we have to use all these HMs to navigate through Hoenn. You can go to the move deleter, sure, but to get through Victory Road, you need Strength, Waterfall, Surf, and Rock Smash, and we're lucky Dive isn't required, otherwise it wouldn't be possible. On our way to some story-related missions, we walk through the Fiery Cave, and there really isn't anything of interest over here.
I wonder if he's gonna find a shiny.
Toxic, hiding behind a boulder, but we'll get to that later. After that, we run into Team Magma, go through a forest, and then fight the 4th gym leader who specializes in fire, which again, let me remind you.
I love that he's still
him.
using Water Gun though. Like Mudkip at level 44 doesn't learn something better than Water Gun?
Water Pokemon. Upon receiving the 4th gym
Bubble
badge,
Beam,
our journey
man!
puts us in a beeline towards the 5th one. I definitely thought that this was going to be the gatekeeper for me. Norman's Pokemon had all the tools to absolutely steamroll me, and at this point, I guess I just severely
Smash
underestimated the growth
everything.
of my Mudkip. And then Norman sent out Slacking. I was worried about being sat on in a hilarious fashion by this humongous beast, but then I remembered Slacking's ability. He can't attack every other turn.
You got Protect?
And my Mudkip was faster and
Oh, you
knew
can dig?
After denying Schrodinger's Marshtomp another chance to breathe, we took the HM Surf, got a Thunderstone for our dearest Pikachu, and then progressed towards the Weather Tower. Inside, Team Aqua bombards you with the exact same shit you've seen before and ultimately fails to overpower the strongest Mudkip in existence. You would think that the weather employees would be grateful for you saving their lives, and that's the problem. They are. Too grateful, if you ask me. They offered to give you a reward for your troubles while
Form.
stripping you of an option to decline.
He lost. He lost the playthrough. No, I'm just kidding.
With that being said, we retrieve our second Pokemon of the
Run's
playthrough,
dead.
and just like that, the run is dead.
Womp
I
womp.
mean, we never caught a Pokemon, I suppose. It's not like I used a Pokeball for it. I suppose that I could just hide him in the box like a red-headed stepchild and hope he never sees the light of day. So with an additional skeleton in our closet, Steven Stone shows us another fun piece of useless information before we go into the 6th gym. I'll be honest and say that these puzzles for toddlers took me a bit longer than I'd like to admit, but I eventually found my way through. I debated on teaching my Mudkip Rock Tomb for this gym alone, but I trusted my precious child to eliminate. Oh my god, they're all dead. Remember when I talked about Team Aqua earlier? Yeah, just imagine that again, but this time with ghosts.
I feel like maybe doing I guess Team Aqua. I was thinking like if you were to play Ruby, you'd face Team Magma instead, but
Imagine that again, but
guess
with
you get
Team
both,
Magma,
right?
and now rocks are around. The twist here is you have to fight the leader of Team Magma, and during this fight, I kind of ran out of PP, so I thought using Dig against his Camerupt would be a fine answer.
oh, the earthquake on the dig, the bold strategies. A lot of people forget about that mechanic.
We got him on the run back though, so let's just focus on the positive, okay? Our next objective was to return to Slateport, and since my Mudkip could not learn Fly no matter how many times I asked or how hard he tried, so we had to walk across the country again. This is just a pointless objective that activates the next event in Lily Cove, which is a painful process if you don't have the ability of fast travel. And since we were in Slateport, I thought we would surf over to the abandoned ship and pick up TM13 Ice Beam, and we're just gonna put that in the bag until
That
later.
could be clutch.
While returning to Slateport, I ran into a random encounter. Upon slaying another Tentacool, somebody asked me to fix a stream layout. As I was attempting to please a loyal viewer, I realized that I made a grave error.
It's just a lighting error. It's a white balance thing. It's like I can just slide one thing on here and make it work.
Womp
Like,
womp.
wait, that's not
Dude, so I do all this stuff while streaming too, and like I'll be real, it's the struggle, man, because like when you're trying to fix something with the stream, you usually cover the stream layout up, so you're just like looking at all your other screens, not looking at what's happening. And the chat, you gotta
wait.
love the chat.
Wait.
Yeah, so I turned the game off and went back to my last save, groaned
Oof.
loudly, and did it all over again. Backtracking through time was as painful as it sounds, and
That's-
then I picked
that's
up
rough.
Toxic along the way, defeated Team Aqua again while picking up a Master Ball that is essentially worthless, and then we found our way back to Moss Deep. This gym served as a huge roadblock.
I don't
in our
even remember
path,
this
as
gym. Wow.
clearly incentivizes double battles with its design and theme and gym leaders being Tate and Liza. Or Lisa, or Lisa, who cares? As soon as you make it to the gym leader room, they turn you away if you only have one Pokemon. To battle them, I'd have to catch another Pokemon, which would absolutely disqualify me from this challenge. But what if we had a certain albino metamorphosis love child to bring back out of hiding?
Cast
Surely this doesn't count
form.
as catching a Pokemon, and it's not like its inclusion really matters since he's just gonna die to Zatu's Psychic. From this point on, Mudkip easily won the 2v1 by spamming Surf the entire battle, and upon leaving the gym, I went out to go do what I felt was right and release Cast Form into the wild.
Oh!
But they refused. Back in the box
Wait.
he went, and we went to
Why does
assist
he
Mr.
refuse?
Stone in a double battle. He was kind enough to allow me to choose any Pokemon I wanted, so I chose my Mudkip and we washed the floor with these lackeys. With our journey soon coming to a close, Steven finally did something of value and allowed me to teach my Mudkip a brand new HM, Dive. With this being our fourth one,
There
Mudkip
you
looks
go.
no different than an HM Zigzagoon
better than
Sled at this
water
point,
gun.
and nevertheless, we continued our journey to the 8th gym. But before I did that, I was surfing.
Ah, I just said that too. I said, I wonder if he's gonna find a shiny, and there it is. 1 in 8,000 chance back in Emerald as well. So that's pretty cool. But he's gonna have to knock it out. Level 69 too. Nice.
And ran into a shiny Tentacool, laughed hysterically, and killed it in front of everybody. But I still forgot we had to go to the Aqua hideout, so yeah, we did that too. Then returning to Pseudopolis. They play a nice little cutscene while Wallace plays 20 questions about Rayquaza, interrogating me about their location as if a 10-year-old with a Mudkip had even heard of whatever that thing is. For whatever plot convenience reason,
I
trekked
remember
up to
this
meet Fly
scene.
for the Sky Dragon, and he instant transmission to somewhere random, I think. Since I didn't want to attempt to imitate it by walking painfully slow, I just battled in the Sky Tower until my little Mudkip couldn't handle it anymore. Since whiting out just sends you to the last Pokemon Center you went to, it activated the next cutscene immediately. Rayquaza interrupts this fight that looks like a stare down to tell Groudon that he got insanely counterpicked. I mean, he has this tiny
Yeah.
piece of land, and Kyogre
That's very true. That's very unbalanced right here. Kyogre's got the whole ocean around him, and Groudon's just got like a little piece of land, man. It's not even fair.
has this ocean on their side. He then threw in the white flag, which caused Kyogre to dive back into the ocean, and I don't really know where Groudon went, honestly. Anyways, after seeing all three of those monsters, this allows our protagonist to enter the final gym and succeed in these puzzles that I definitely remember being much harder as a kid. One doesn't really serve as too much of a challenge for the beast that was created before your very eyes, but I thought it would be a very funny
I forget
flex to
that
throw a
Juan
master
was the
ball at
guy
his truly
instead.
beloved. He didn't appreciate the joke very much, and to be fair, I get it. It's not really that funny. So with all 8 gym badges in hand, our journey now directs us at Evergrande City, which is honestly just one building. And nice. But first, we have to go to the move deleter and ditch Dot
He was level 69 when he found the Tentacool. I see shenanigans.
and learn Waterfall. Luckily, only 4 of the 5 required HMs are necessary to get through Victory Road, and if that wasn't true, the run would have just ended right here. Upon entering Victory Road, we are greeted with Wally trying to strike a pose, and we can just fast forward through all this. He never really served as much of a challenge to the superior species of Pokemon. Victory Road is a dark and scary labyrinth, and I wasn't really about to rely on muscle memory nor flash, so I just looked up a guide and counted step by step.
Yeah,
Nothing really
that's
exciting happens here, so we can just fast forward to the Elite Four. I stocked up on last minute supplies and sold my revives since we can't possibly use those. I called this a practice run since the moveset I was going on was full of low PP HMs, with one of them being Rock Smash, which is a hilariously awful move. This definitely sounded much harder on paper, but Mudkip kind of tore through all of the first few trainers. We got to Drake with only water moves that are not very effective,
Beam.
Rock Smash is just not, and we didn't have any ice moves. Things seemed kind of hopeless. I decided to use an ether on strength.
Oh,
and
he
that
can't,
turned
'cause
out
they're
to
all
be the
HMs.
saving grace here somehow. Upon beating the Elite Four, we had one remaining challenge in our way. This Mudkip has been through so much. We all have in this adventure. And with our journey finally coming to, okay, we got Toxic stalled by Wallace's Melodic and lost. Okay, whatever. At this point, I just decided that our moveset was not going to cut it. One of our moves did not even get used in the Elite Four, and the rest didn't cover what we needed it to. With
Toxic.
Toxic and Ice Beam still in my bag, I wanted to equip them to Mudkip, but how? We made our way back through Victory Road, picking up a much needed PP up on the way, and arrived at the move deleter's house. After removing
go.
half of their HMs and giving Mudkip as close to a real moveset as I possibly could, we set out to see and died. You know, since this would warp our trainer back to the Elite Four and the HMs required to get through Victory Road were no longer applicable,
Big
this time
brain!
was going to be different. Each move was
Wow,
strategically
look
picked
at him
for each
go.
trainer. A lot of Pokemon were die to surf alone given stat bonus, but we also had strength to cover the matchups with weak defense or who were strong.
What's actually funny is a lot of people don't realize this, but water and normal coverage in competitive Pokemon is really, really good. It generally hits almost everything, at least neutrally, because the things that would be resistant to normal, which would be like steel and rock, those Pokemon are hit by water type moves. So normal and water is actually an attack combination that was utilized quite a bit. Probably Gen 6 mostly. I remember seeing like Gyarados like return waterfall, things like that. So it was actually pretty common in competitive, believe it or not.
Underwater. With everything in place, Mudkip was unchained, storming through trainer after trainer. Okay, clearly just use self-destruct. This time for sure, after arriving at Phoebe's battle, I realized the last battle her Dusclops exerts pressure, which is bad for my limited move pool. I also noticed that he opens with Protect and would keep spamming it until one connected. Being that he could use this move 10 times, I decided that I would just buff Mudkip up as much as possible.
I like
and then
it.
on the 11th turn, the beefiest Mudkip you've ever seen slaughtered all of the ghosts. I used a similar strategy for the next trainer since Mudkip lived in constant fear of being exploded on by a living snowball. When it came to Drake, the difficulty of the last run went away since Ice Beam was the perfect tool to destroy everything he loves, which finally brought us back to Wallace. I took my time and beefed up against his Wailord, which I feel like if that Pokemon ever gets Dynamax, stadiums are going to collapse. With Ludicolo knowing Giga Drain, this could serve as a huge problem. Being that I had to heal each time I used it, I just waited until he used the move 5 times and then Ice Beamed him down. Wallace's Tentacruel is by far the least threatening Pokemon he has, so this was just time to heal, buff up, file my checkbook, and mentally prepare myself for what was coming next. Milotic came out using Toxic, educating me that I've never said most of these Pokemon names out loud, and little did they know, I could be toxic too. This fight went on for multiple minutes, but Mudkip eventually found himself a victory somehow. Surprisingly, this wasn't the end, but after using Ice Beam, Wish Catch was frozen, and at this point it was just hard to card from there. With Wallace attempting to hold the throne and not lose to a 10-year-old, he threw out Gyarados, but you already know how that went. So just like that, Mudkip single-handedly became the champion of Hoenn's Elite Four.
Not bad, not bad.
But his very fitting lonely nature led him to victory.
Oh, I like that.
People said that a Mudkip couldn't accomplish such a daunting task, but let this be a lesson to you. No matter how large the obstacle may be.
20 hours and 26 minutes. I'm surprised. I would, like I said, I think I guessed at like 35 hours. That's really not that bad.
Believe in yourself, you can accomplish anything if you have a drugged up fish with legs by your side. One thing.
Shout outs to that, man. Just an incredible video, guys. I'll tell you, seeing these adventures just gets me hyped up to do my own playthroughs and my own challenge runs, which is why I tried that Butterfree one I did the other day. I'll have that in the description below, as well as Alpharad's original video. So go show Alpharad some love. Be sure to subscribe to his channel. All that good stuff. Great content creator, as I'm sure you guys probably already know. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like the video and make sure you guys subscribe. I post Pokemon videos every single day. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. If you guys enjoyed this video, you should definitely check out this one right here. Otherwise, I think this one's pretty awesome too. Check out one of those videos and have yourself an awesome day.